Good. How are you?
Hi, 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 hi,
How are
Charlie.
you? How are you? How are you, my friend?
Hi.
Very good.
Yes.
I saw your wife behind you. Hello, hello,
Yeah, yeah.
wife.
And my daughter. Yeah, they are not getting. They are not getting to sleep. They are
uh,
ready to get sleep.
mine just mine just
Yeah.
my children just woke up. It's 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock is over
Yeah,
side. It's 9 o'clock.
yeah, yeah. nine
Yeah.
o'clock. So how's your week been? How are the last few days? Right?
And my some colleague from the United States, they came to Nanjing have a workshop with us. So the last 5 days we have a long working shop.
Long workshops. Yeah.
Yeah, workshop. Yes.
Was this for the robot that you were working on? The robot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They come
Very.
to us, and we talk about some design and function and some future about our robot project. Yeah.
Very, very cool.
Yeah.
I
Yes. Yes.
I had
And
go ahead.
and sometime and the last day I made let me think the word reposition. Is that right? Reposition. A point.
A PowerPoint presentation.
Oh, presentation. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Presentation. And I have how to say a speech about my presentation. No.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And at first I want to use Chinese to speak to talk about my content, and I let a colleague to help me to translate to English. That colleague is from the United States, but she can speak Chinese and English. And
Oh, okay.
yes, and then I try to use the English to describe to talk about the content. Then I just say the English, and I think I did well.
Very good.
Yeah,
Very. Oh no, my son had a crisis.
yeah.
Good.
What's going on?
So you think it went well? That's very good. Did they say anything to you? Did they
Yeah.
afterwards?
Yes, and we talk about the content about my slide, and always use the English.
Very good. Very
Yeah.
good. Well, that's
Because
happy news for me.
yeah,
Yeah. Right.
yeah. Because at first, why I really want to use the Chinese, because there are a lot of difficult word. You
Sure.
know, it's related about the robot, and a little more technical word.
Right.
So at first, I don't have the confidence to say it in English. But I found when I say a Chinese, then that my colleague to help me to translate to English. Into English. I think it's a little, how to say. Let me check. I always forget the word. Let me check how to say that. Let me see. It's not inefficiency. Is that right? Or efficient?
It's not efficient. It's not efficient. Yeah.
It's not efficient. Yes, because it need a lot of time, and my slide have a lot of things to talk about.
Sure.
Then I just
Sure.
I try to use the English. I
Yeah, and that
think
makes sense. Yeah, that makes
yeah,
sense that you would do
yeah,
it that way.
Yeah, and I think they really get my point about my slide.
Yeah, I would imagine your slides are very specific, and you have, like you said, technical.
Yeah,
They're and you don't want them to be misunderstood,
yeah, I think
right?
so.
If you're going to give
Yeah,
a presentation, and then afterwards, if you want to have a conversation about them, then I think English was a perfect choice.
yeah, yeah,
Plus,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know, Americans love when people speak English to them.
I think so. Yeah,
No, they do.
and
They do. They do. I think
yeah,
any country, if you go to somewhere and you try to speak someone's native language, maybe France. The French
yeah,
get kind of like, oh, you're saying it wrong, but everyone else appreciates the effort,
yeah, yeah,
uh,
yeah.
and your English is certainly good enough for conversations and talking about the slides that you just presented.
Yeah, yeah, I
Did you
think
have
so.
Did you have your colleague there that could help you if you had the one that you said translated for you? Was she with you there when you were discussing your slides in English?
Maybe some word maybe I said not very. Maybe it's not very. Let me see. Properly. Properly. Right.
Probably.
Maybe not properly. Let me see. I know the word, but I forgot the pronunciation. Appropriate. Appropriate.
Appropriate.
Appropriately. Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
I like her to help me. Just some
Ah,
some. Yeah.
yeah. Very very good.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
that's I think that's an exciting project. I think that's a very
Yeah.
exciting project. Uh,
Yeah, and our chief designer,
yeah.
the chief designer from the Boston, I think he is a very, how to say that. I don't know how or what the word can describe. Just give you some example. He really cheers cheer us. CHER, is
He
that right?
cheers. Yeah. He cheers you on.
Cheer, cheers us to see what we are thinking. To cheer us to talk about our idea. And yes, and he is really smart, and it give us some power to bring together. I think it's the culture. It maybe is a little bit different from us. Our supervise from the China, maybe not like him,
Right.
maybe not like him. He's really. Let me see how to say this.
I would say I just typed up a couple of words like
Okay,
enthusiastic and encouraging.
enthusiasm, encourage. Yeah, 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 yeah. Really, really.
And
He's really this guy.
yeah,
Yeah,
part of that is I think you're right. I think it's an American culture, especially right now, where we're very focused in American business. I think on coaching and leading people that way through encouraging them to do the best they can. And I
yeah,
think a lot of other countries, China very possibly could be one, where it's more expected that you do the best you can, and we don't need to encourage you. You're
yeah,
that it's your duty to do the best you can. But it's always nice. I think
yeah,
human nature wants to be, yes, very good, head, very good. You'll do, that sort
yeah,
of thing, right?
yeah,
You want to,
yeah, yeah, yeah. I think so. Yes, I think so. And sometimes we our Chinese guy some make some say some joke, uh, just like the colleague from the United States. They always start with the dialogue. Start with awesome, great, you did well. But
but we,
yes,
we have
yeah,
another
yeah,
saying that anything that happened
yeah,
before the word but, ignore everything that happened before the
yeah,
word but.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Always ignore the first they are saying. We just say, but yeah, but I think in the colleagues from the United States, they are really friendly and encouraging, enthusiastic.
Yeah, yeah,
That let us really like to work with them
yeah.
because the people really like to someone to how to say. Let me check how to say that. Maybe I just don't see the word. I mean, they really like that. If somebody say you are right or encourage you, I think you like to work or talk with them.
Right, you're motivated. Yeah,
Motivated. Oh, yeah, motivated. Yes,
yeah,
I know the word, but just I forgot.
yeah,
Motivated. Motivated is describe somebody or
yeah. You can
is a
be
verb.
motivated. Motivated. It can be both.
Motivated.
Yeah.
Okay. I
Motivation is like the noun. So I have my motivation. Uh,
my motivation.
yeah, is because I want to produce the best product, but my boss might motivate me by saying encouraging things and helping me. You
Motivated.
know, and you can do
Yeah.
it. You're almost there. Oh man, you're so close. But
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
we're
But
notorious for that.
yes. But in my mind, I last I used to think the United States people so ask you a question. If you you talk if you have some so sorry, let me say how to say. So if you talk to each other, so you directly um, to say what you think, or maybe you just say some word before you what you think. Like
I think that just depends on the
you
person. Yeah, yeah.
so sorry, I don't catch it.
That's all right. I think that depends on that particular person. You know, I've worked for both
Particular
those. Both, yeah, I've worked for people that are very direct. Um,
direct.
you know, you said so in the last big project I worked on, right? We were developing this course,
Yeah,
and
of course. Yeah, then you told me. Yeah.
then there were people on the stakeholders. We call it, do you know that word, stakeholders? The ones that own
No,
that.
I don't know. Stakeholder.
Stakeholders are the people that kind of own the program. They're the company.
Owner.
Yeah,
Owner program.
yeah,
The owner of the company.
yeah. Right.
Okay.
He's certainly a stakeholder. So one of my colleagues presented something like you did, right? They presented it. Here it is, and he does this. No, stop, 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 stop. This is not what I wanted at all. You need to go back and fix all of this, right?
Okay.
And
yeah, I think so.
we thought we were done. Right? We thought we were finished. That we was going to be fired.
Well,
But sometimes they're very direct, like I said, like that.
yeah.
And then when we turned around the next week and we made all these corrections, the same guy was going, yes, that's what I'm looking for. That's what I wanted. And, we're all like, okay, good.
Okay.
So he was not a person that said, oh, no, awesome, great, that's perfect. Here's what we need to do. It's almost there, but da, da, da. He wasn't that guy. He was like, no, stop, that stinks, So I think it just depends on the person. But there are many people in America, because it's taught as a way to motivate people, to encourage them. And that's great. And, I was always from that. I always believed that as a manager. I was always, people are trying. People are making good efforts. And so I always wanted people to want to do better, right? To make them want to do better, right? To motivate them to do better.
Yeah. let them really enjoy the work, so
Right.
they can, how to say, they can do do more, and they can get a good result, better result.
Right. Right.
And I think it definitely always depends on what the um, job or work.
Yeah. Right. The
Yeah,
type of
maybe yeah, the type of work, because maybe in the for example, our project, the most of people have a good education,
mhm.
so they really so most of the people is professional, so
Right.
the supervisor maybe just maybe don't command them to do something, just encourage them, or
Right.
motivate them to do
Right.
something. But maybe in some other type of the work, you said they must mm, how to say, aggressive,
Aggressive.
aggressive,
Be more direct. They might be
be
more
more direct. Yeah, give them the direct uh, option, command,
command. Yeah.
command, and sometimes is more efficient.
More
Sorry, I
efficient. Yeah.
forgot
Yeah.
that.
No, that's right. More
More
efficient.
efficient.
Yeah. Yeah.
More,
I
yeah,
also
more
think
efficient.
I also think the timeline or the your schedule has a lot to do with that too, right?
Yeah,
If the timeline is very short for finishing this project, the people that are giving the feedback might be more direct. No, we need to stop
yeah, yeah,
and do it. And
yeah.
uh,
Okay. Yeah,
so if you have a final date that's far in the future, there's more ability to try to motivate people. Okay, you're doing great. Let's continue doing these great things. But
yeah.
if you're coming close to your deadline, it may have to be a little more. No, we need to direct you, command you, to do things a little more uh,
I think so.
quickly.
Yeah, but I heard, I heard a news. Maybe it's not news. I heard from my Chinese colleague. He told me our chief designer. I just see the guy
Uh huh.
named David. Yeah, he how to say. Um, my Chinese colleague told me that David um, get a complaint about other colleague, said that he maybe is he how to say, he was uh, mm, let me check how to say that. He my Chinese colleague said that the United States colleague complained about the David, said he is more aggressive for them,
Oh, it's too aggressive. Yeah.
too aggressive. But I can I cannot imagine that, because I think he is really um, friendly.
Yeah.
So I think, yeah, maybe the I think maybe it's not the culture. Um, maybe the Chinese people or the United people um, have the different um, um, how to say. Let me check. Understanding
Yeah.
about what is aggressive.
Yeah. Yeah. And that changes company to company too. What that standard
Yeah,
is, what that understanding of being
yeah,
aggressive is, and it's
yeah,
possible
yeah,
this was an American that complained about David. Is that right?
yeah.
Yeah.
The United.
Another U.S. person complained about him. Sometimes, and I don't know how this is in China, but I know that sometimes if
let me check the word. They said the word. Let me check. I just know the Chinese, but I don't know. Rude manager.
A good manager.
The David, not good manager. They complained about David did rude management.
What kind of management?
Rude, R-U-D-E.
Rude. Really rude.
Yeah. Rude. Maybe I don't know the word properly. Maybe it's too strong because I just used the dictionary.
Rude.
Yeah. Rude manager.
So
I can't believe that because
I
don't know. Maybe
people get very sensitive.
So I think maybe the different standard about what is rude.
Yes.
Because in China, my supervisor can that is how to say that. I don't know how to say that. Let me check. Whoa, I don't know.
Abusive.
Abuse, and let me see. Let's see. Give you the word abuse. Abuse you. So a supervisor can abuse us. See some strong words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't. Even that we cannot complain them.
Yeah. Right.
Yes. Yes. I think the Chinese people. Yeah, I think it's cultural.
So, in the United States, sometimes people get very sensitive, very like,
sensitive.
You've hurt my feelings, and even in business, and that's what I kind of laughed at that because I guess I've always, I always want to try to make people, like I said, motivate people to do their best, and but I've had bosses that were very direct. I think some people don't understand the difference between direct and being rude.
Yeah.
Like, hey, we need to have this done this week. That's being direct, right? That's not being rude.
Yeah, I think.
If I say,
I think
if I call you a name, if I call you a derogatory, look, you stupid idiot, that if I said something like that, that might be rude.
I think that is.
Yeah, that is rude.
I
but
I think if we're talking about the thing, we don't talking about the people. I think this can be rude. Just you said more directly.
Right.
We just want everybody know what our goal, and we can go forward our goal.
Sometimes I think in American business, everybody wants to feel good. Everybody wants to and then if he's like that normally, you say he's very polite, very friendly. If one day he decides he needs to do this now, and he means, he all of a sudden isn't friendly, then somebody's going to take that as rude, when it isn't rude at all. It's just, it's I had that happen to me, I think, before, because I try to be friendly and motivating, but when it came down to the line, we got to get this done. I'm not kidding, or, all of a sudden somebody might think, oh, well, he's so rude today. He's so, Sometimes that's just American culture, just being very sensitive about everything,
Yes, it's really the different culture, because the David come to China and have the conversation with our Chinese colleague. Sometimes the David just because the David he really want to something from he require give our Chinese team some requirement, because he's the designer, chief designer. He give us requirement that our Chinese team to implement do the implement.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes he is more how to say friendly, and just like give some he just like give some recommendation.
Right.
Sometimes I talk to him. You must give them the requirement. You don't give their recommendation. Yes, if they think you just say about the recommendation, they will refuse you or reject you.
Right. Rejected because it's just a recommendation.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't have to do it. Right.
Yeah.
I don't.
Sometimes. So, because he's more friendly. So I heard the news about some United people to complain about him. At first I can't believe that.
Unfortunately, I can believe. But it's probably not a problem. I think anybody in a senior position, and probably it is. I don't know if it's like this for you. I think in America, if you're in a senior position, somebody's going to complain about you, mostly because you're in a senior position, right? You may be where they want to be, and they think they could do it better, and you're just rude, or you don't know what you're doing. You don't, it's not. I'm not surprised by that. You probably are, but you see him from an exterior. You see him from a different perspective. You see this is this friendly guy that's not very demanding. I mean, he's asking for things, and he's not. So, and they may see him in a different light. Especially if they work for him. He may be more demanding for people that work for him.
Demanding? What is demanding?
Where he is more direct. He may be more direct with people that work for him than people that work with him or that he works for. So I'm sure he sees you as the Chinese counterparts as equals, and he's trying to get something done over here. But if someone works below him in the hierarchy, he may be more demanding on them. He may be more direct with them and less friendly with them. Because of their position. But we have a saying that you can't please all the people all the time.
I think so. Sometimes even the people have good education, but sometimes because maybe the project is close to the deadline, and we don't have much more time and a lot of work to do. Sometimes we just demand.
Demand. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we just need to demand. Demand is a verb or noun?
It can be a demand, it can be a noun, or I can demand something. It can be a verb or
demand.
Yeah.
Verb. Okay. Yeah, I think so.
Either one.
Yeah, but I think so. I think maybe the colleague complained about David, but I don't. I think maybe the United States culture is that doesn't mean the colleague will not do their job. Maybe after that they can work together.
Yeah, and even and they may have to work together anyway. But that's true. I think it's definitely cultural.
Yeah, they maybe just to show their feeling.
Yeah.
To him, just let you know, I don't like the way you talk to us or manage me.
Right.
So I just show my show my feeling to you.
Yeah.
If you accept that, we can always work together.
Right.
In a good way.
Right.
Is that right? Yeah, if in China, or I complain about somebody, maybe in a long time I hate somebody or distaste somebody.
Hey, we're almost out of time, my friend. But I talk to you
Yeah.
soon. I'm going to Disney World, so I'll be about 2 weeks. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
okay. Okay.